Good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful day. Okay, good morning, guys. Hi. So happy to be here. I know I'm a little bit late this morning. I had to meet with Elizabeth's teacher after her weekly Zoom meeting. Anyhow, I'm so excited. Today I have a cute little card featuring the Gather Together stamp set and some heat embossing, which I think is going to be super fun. I hope you guys like it. Hold on, I'm trying to start a watch party. I'm trying to start a watch party over on my page. Weekly tutorial time. Okay. Share that there. Okay, so this card was actually inspired by another crafter. I saw a card. So I do swaps with my team every month, and somebody in my team had put this card in. I thought it was super cute. I don't have it to show you, but I will tell you right now that my card is inspired by something that I saw from someone else. I think it's really important to give credit to other crafters when they do something or when they inspire you in some way. So I wanted to share with you guys that this card was inspired. Okay, let's just dive right in with what we're doing. So I'm using Gather Together. I'm using the So Glad I Have You in My Life. And then I'm also using this big leaf right here. So let me pull all the stuff over that I'm gonna need. Okay, I think, there it is, guys. Okay, look, here's the card I was inspired by. This is Christy Helsman. So that's the inspiration, and we're gonna build from there. Okay, so I have, this is Whisper White. This will be my insert. I'm gonna start there. And I also have this little strip of Whisper White. This is a 1/2 inch strip, and it's just a scrap piece, so I don't even know how long it is. But that, I know 1/2 inch is how tall or wide it is. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the leaf here, and I'm using Cajun Craze, and I'm just going to ink it up and then kind of stamp it right there. I'm also gonna take, this is Pretty Peacock. This has been cut at 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna use the same Cajun Craze with this leaf, and I'm gonna stamp, I'm just gonna kind of create my own background with this stamp here. I'm not stamping anything or anywhere specific. I just want to create like a pretty little background. Okay, and then maybe one more right here. Okay, just like that. Let me get my chamois so I can clean off my stamp. Okay. Chamois there. Okay, and then with this little 1/2 inch strip of Whisper White, I'm going to stamp my So Glad to Have You in My Life sentiment. Trying to get it center and straight, just like that. Okay, and that's all the stamping I'm doing. Oh wait, just kidding. Let me grab myself an envelope here. No envelope, because I'm doing something different with the envelope. Okay, so I'm putting this away. I'm gonna clean off this stamp right here. I wanna make sure my leaf is really clean. Okay, and I'm going to, this is crushed curry that I'm gonna fold in half to create my card base. And that there. Okay, this is, okay, I've got this Pretty Peacock that I'm bringing back. This is Whisper White cut at 5 1/4 by 2 1/2. And I'm just gonna take some adhesive and center that right here in the middle. And I'm still learning how to use my adhesive. I know it's gonna look funny, but I'm trying a different trick. So the trick is to kind of like tilt up and pull away. That should help it like separate a little bit better, which I've been having a little bit of problem with this adhesive kind of rolling up on itself. So that's something that I saw on YouTube. You guys, I YouTube everything. If you're ever unsure, just YouTube it. Okay, so we're putting that there. This is a DSP from the Plaid. I think it's called Plaid Tidings in the holiday catalog, but I'm not sure the name of the DSP. I believe that's the name of the suite. Okay. And I'm going to put that right here in the middle of the white. So this measures the same 5 1/4, but this is 2 1/4 instead of 2 1/2. So we're putting that there. I'm going to set that aside. Now we're going to do a little bit of heat embossing. So I have, this is just a piece of regular white printer paper. There's nothing fancy to it. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it in half like this. And I'm going to use this as a workspace. And you'll see in a second why I'm using that. I'm going to get kind of fancy on ya. So this is just scrap piece of that pretty peacock. Then I'm going to pull a scrap piece of the crushed curry. And I have a scrap piece of the, what is this? Cajun Craze. So I'm going to use my Versamark ink. And I'm going to use the same, I think this is a maple leaf. So I'm going to use the same maple leaf. And I'm going to stamp it here. I'm going to move this stuff kind of out of the way. And I'm going to try to work smarter here. Emphasis on try. Okay, and I'm just going to put some embossing powder here on there. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and ink up this leaf again. And this time I'm going to stamp it here on the yellow, this crushed curry. And I'm going to shake this leaf onto this leaf. Just gonna flick it and get some of that excess powder off. Okay, we're gonna set that aside and be really careful not to touch that leaf because I don't want to smear any of the embossing powder that we have on there. Okay, and then I'm taking this pretty peacock and I'm going to ink up my leaf again. Hopefully I'm still kind of in the camera here, you guys. Let me move this. I just want to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got this pretty peacock and I'm going to stamp the leaf here on the pretty peacock. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did with that Cajun Craze to the crushed curry. I'm just going to move the embossing powder from one to the other. And I'm going to flick this, get it all cleaned up. Blow on it a little bit to get some of that excess powder. And that should be enough powder for this one. And I have like a little bit right there. Okay, perfect. And the reason for this plain paper here was so that I could gather all of this extra embossing powder. And I can put it back in my little jar so that we can emboss again on something else. Okay. That's good. Let me close this up. Let me close up my Versamark ink. Okay, so we'll set those aside. We're all done with those. And then I'm going to bring the heat tool over. And go ahead and turn it on. I do use this on the highest setting. That seems to be what works for me. And hopefully you guys can see some magic here. I love heat embossing. I think it's so fun and so pretty. So I'm just going to hold this over the powder. You don't have to swirl it. That's just something that I like to do because it makes me feel like I'm doing something. Do you see that magic? Look how pretty that is.
I saw the same color to white.
Yeah, well, it's turning gold. You see? It's magical. Okay, there's one. Do the same thing here. You guys, this does get really hot, so try to keep your fingers away from the heat. Look at that. I love it. It's so fancy. And one more time on this crushed curry. I wonder if you'll see it. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Okay. So I'm just moving it all over the image to make sure that I heat up the entire thing. And then I do like a quick once over. Okay. Perfect. Just like that. Wasn't that so fun? I love heat embossing. I feel like it's so just magical and fun. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull over the cut and emboss, and we're going to use the dies that coordinate with the gather together to cut these leaves out. So this is the cut and emboss machine. Try to make sure I got all my stuff out of the way there. And I'm gonna need, let's see, I need my number 1 plate. I need my number 2 plate. And then I'm gonna need, these are number 3, just clear cutting plates. So I'm gonna need those. I'm also going to need, bear with me guys, I didn't have my dies out. There we go. Okay, so these are the dies that coordinate. They're the gathered leaves dies right here. And I'm just bringing out this big old leaf. Okay. Oh, you know what? Haha, I can do something. Okay, so I'm not going to use the number 2 or one of these number 3s. I'm going to put those away because I actually have, where is it? Hold on. I know I have it. I know I have it. Where did I put it? You guys, I have the magnetic plate. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, so this is the number 5 magnetic plate, and what's cool about this is it's an entire sheet and of like a magnet sheet, and it's gonna hold this so that when I'm rolling these through, it's not gonna move. Okay, so I'm just lining up this leaf so that I can. I'm gonna take some washi because it's still moving, and I think it's because when we heat emboss the paper, it kind of warped the paper a little bit, the heat from the tool. Let me find I'm just using retired washi. And I'm just gonna use a little piece here, like this. It's just gonna hold it in place while we roll it through. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll it through. That didn't do anything. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I got my plates. I need this one. Okay, one more shim, sorry. I'm still learning, still figuring out all the details of this new machine. So, there we go. That did it. All right, so there's one leaf. Let's pull it off, you guys can see how magical it is. Ta-da! Isn't that pretty? Look, it shines. Okay, so I'm going to do that 2 more times. I'm going to reuse my washi here. And do that one more time with this pretty peacock. Just lining it up. Gonna roll it through here. And done. I should probably do it this way so that I'm not pulling anything. There's that pretty leaf. Ta-da! And one more with this crushed curry. Oops. Just lining this up. Just like that. Okay. And we'll put this. Okay. Perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and close this up and put it away because that is all that we're doing with the cut and emboss. And then let me get this last leaf out. Okay. Perfect. So perfect. Okay. I didn't even have coffee and I'm feeling quite chipper. Okay, so I have these 3 beautiful leaves. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, hold on, I have some extra powder. Okay, I'm going to flip these leaves over and I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of them. Like this. And some here. Okay, and in no particular order, I'm going to pick them up. I'm going to start in the middle just because. I'm going to do, oh, you know what? No, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to pull this one up. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to put the middle one last. And like, I think I want them all kind of going the same-ish. The same-ish. Okay, like that. There we go. Doesn't that look pretty? Ooh, already it's magical. Okay, I'm not going to adhere this just yet. I'm actually going to take a little bit of this linen thread. So where is the end here? Okay, here. I'm going to leave myself a tail to work with. Grab my snips. And I'm going to, I know that I want my bow to tie like right here. So I'm going to go like this. Work over. I use a little bit of it. Sorry. Okay, sorry, I got a phone call. Okay, I use a little bit of a cheater method to make sure that this doesn't move. So I put this here like that. Okay, and then I'm just gonna wrap this around a few times. Hold on, I should give myself some room here. Okay. Yeah, I want it to go that many times. Okay. And I'm going to give myself some length on this side as well. Okay. And I'm just going to tie these in a, first I'm going to tie a knot, just like a regular basic knot. That's going to give me, it's just going to make it tight, I guess, so that I can work with it. Okay, and then I'm going to tie just a regular little bow. Yeah, baby.
Is someone going to go right here?
Mm-hmm.
On that line? I mean that.
Okay. And then I have like a little bit of like, you know, that's like not tight. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to pull it tight and I'm going to wrap it this way. And then I'm going to take some more of this tape to hold it in place. And I'm going to do the same thing on here. I'm now just going to take some extra tape to make sure all of these get pulled back and that they're holding in place. So even though they're loose back here, it's not going to matter. No one's going to see that part. And then I'm going to take these tails and I'm going to trim them like that. Okay. Go ahead and flip it over. Run some adhesive on the back of this guy. Whoop. Whoop. And in the middle for good measure. Okay. Move some of this out of the way. Okay, here's my card. I want to make sure that it opens correctly because I have done that to myself in the past. Okay, I'm going to put that, just going to center that up right here. Right there, just like that. I'm going to take this that we stamped earlier and run some adhesive on the back of that guy. This is going to go here on the inside. Like that. Okay. And then I have like a little half strip of, this is just gold foil. And I also have that little half strip of white that we stamped on. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball where I want this to go. So, okay. I know that I want to cut my white right here, like that. And then I'm just going to measure this, and I'm gonna cut this just like a tad longer. And then this one, I'm just gonna do like at an angle, like that. And then measuring these the same. Just gonna do just a smidge longer on that gold foil, okay? And I'm gonna run some adhesive on the back of the white, like that. And then I'm gonna line these up. I just want this, I want this side to be flush. I want those to be flush with each other, okay? And then for this, we're gonna use some dimensionals on this guy to help pop it up, give it a little bit of texture.
A little bit of Toby.
So I'm just gonna use 3 dimensionals back here. Okay. 3 little dimensionals.
So all
That's
3
it.
of them can fit.
Okay, let me clear my workspace a little bit. Oh, it looks like I got some adhesive on the front of this. That's 8 and 10. Okay, and then I'm just gonna put this right here. Ta-da! How pretty is that? I love it. Okay, one more little trick to decorate our envelope and make sure everything coordinates and looks finished and absolutely presentable. I mean, it's presentable the way it is because our card is wonderful. But I do like to do a little bit extra on my envelopes. So I just have my envelope. I'm gonna flip the flap backwards. I'm gonna run some adhesive kind of as close to this line as I can, that fold line. And then I'm gonna run it on the bottom, as close to the bottom of the flap as I can. I'm gonna pop it up. And then this is that same DSP that we used on the front of the card. And I'm just gonna butt it right against that crease. And just like that. Fold it down, make sure all my adhesive sticks.
Now we're going to cut the outline.
Now we have this, and so I'm just gonna use my snips to kind of trace along the flap of the envelope and just cut off all this excess. And that's gonna give me like this really cute matching envelope. Just like this.
You guys can do what you like. You like can say you like color up a little bit if you want.
Yeah, you can always do what you want. Sometimes, well, usually I just take one of the stamps and I kind of stamp the front of the envelope, but I thought it would be really cute to kind of, you know, highlight this DSP a little bit more by putting it on the envelope. So there we go. So this is your envelope with a cute little coordinating flap there. And then here's our pretty little card. How cute is that? I love it. Thank you guys today for joining my Tuesday tutorial live. I'm here every Tuesday at 10 a.m., also on Fridays. And until I see you Friday, I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.